Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is February 27th, and today's episode is going to cover preparation for the ETH Denver conference that's starting tomorrow-ish, or it's already been going, some news about the Dencun update, and also Haloooloolo shares stats about usage on the Rocket Pool Discord. So stay tuned and we'll cover all that and more.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
So let's get started here with this news from Mav. So he says, hey everyone, the team members are about to board their long flights to Denver. If you're also going to be in town, we'll shortly be publishing a booth roster for all ETH Denver volunteers, so keep an eye out for the ping in conferences channel and swing by booth 320 in the DeFi district. Your support is greatly appreciated. We'll also be updating the event section of the Discord with some ETH Denver happenings. Speaking of, the latest bi-weekly update has already been published in the usual place on Medium, and we'll be discussing it along with a recap of Denver news live from the podcast booth on Thursday. And Mav goes on to say, don't forget that the weekend brings the first ever Denver Liftoff, a Rocket Pool Protocol DAO event. Ticketing is separate to the ETH Denver, so make sure you check it out here. And then there's a link. This is here from Dave, Langus, Kane, Grant, Fornax, Joe, virtually, along with guest appearances including Eigenlair. And then Mav goes on to say, looking ahead to the next month, the Rocket Pool community has been offered a 30% discount on tickets for the ETH Bucharest a conference, which is 27th to 30th of March, and which may be of interest to anyone based in I guess like Eastern Europe or Europe, if they're interested in going to that. So, everything's go now for Denver. The team are on their flights. They're probably in the sky right now because this was from yesterday afternoon, and they might even be landing actually in the next matter of hours. So I guess they'll try to have a good night's sleep on Tuesday before getting the booth and everything set up on Wednesday. I myself, as I told you in yesterday's episode, will be flying to Denver tomorrow morning. So I'll be landing at 10 a.m. local time, and I'm staying until late Sunday afternoon. I think I'll be leaving. My flight leaves at 6 p.m. Denver time. So I'll be around. You'll be able to find me at the Rocket Pool booth. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. But also you'll be able to find me at Denver Liftoff. So let's have a look at the booth. And here we've got the volunteers list has been released. And Mav says, here's the booth volunteer roster. Let me know via DM if any changes are required or if you have any questions. For those of you who've offered to help across 3 or 4 slots, they may not all be required in the end since at least a couple of team members will be present. So so it seems like there'll be good coverage. So let's have a look at my slots. So I will be there on 2 morning slots, morning and early afternoon slots. So I'll be there from 9 a.m. to noon on Thursday and on Friday, and also from noon to 3 o'clock on Thursday and Friday as well. I won't be covering Saturday and Sunday because I'll be busy helping with the Denver Liftoff. Now, people, if you want to come and see me, I'll be at the booth. And also, if you're there on Thursday morning, then my booth mates will be Woe and Highflyer.eth and Schifrin. On the 12 noon slot, my booth mates will be Ramana, Sneaky, and then Ken and Nixo. And then on Friday, on the early morning slot, it'll be the same as on Thursday, except Ken will also be joining. And then on the early afternoon slot, it'll be slightly different in that Tim Robinson will be joining instead of Ken. So if you want to see me, then those are the times to see me. I'll probably be around for the other parts as well. I might be like collecting swag and stuff, or just like meeting like people at different booths. But yeah, I'll be there. So come, let's talk about Rocket Pool. I'm happy to talk about Rocket Pool all day long. And of course, if you haven't signed up for Denver Liftoff, please do that. It's a $5 charge. It's just nominal fee. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, there'll be a whole lot of really great conversations happening place and like learning sessions on Saturday, and then on Sunday it will be back-to-back presentations and talks delivered by community and team members. So it's going to be really exciting. Of course, the East Denver festivities have already begun. So we had the Build Week or Biddle Week, as they call it, and I think that is wrapping up today. But there's also a whole bunch of side events going on, just like Denver Liftoff. We have news of this one that Ken attended, which was by Figment and Eigenlayer, and there's photos here as well if you're talking about it. So the kind of questions they asked was like, restaking an Eigenlayer, why is restaking important, what are we seeing, the Ethereum Foundation Eigenlayer, its impact on DeFi, and is restaking making Ethereum weaker or stronger? And then there's a whole bunch of slides here as well about like the stuff. And Ken didn't provide a summary of the talk itself, but if you want to have a look at the slides, then you're welcome to do that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Like, the party's getting started. It's going to be a really fun weekend. Okay, talking about the party getting started, it looks like the party for Dencun is also getting started. You all know that this is the next Ethereum hard fork that's taking place on March 13th, and you need to have your node up to date before that. I've been telling you over the last couple of weeks that the clients are getting their hard fork ready versions out. Well, Fornax put all those together and released version 1.11.8 today. So he says today we released version 1.11.8 of the smart node. This is a mandatory update for all users as it enables the Deneb Cancun, which is called Dencun in common parlance, mainnet upgrade, which will occur on March 13th. And it says with blobs being added to Dencun, each node is expected to consume an additional disk space, which will be around 50 gigabytes, but it might be up to a maximum of 103 gigabytes, depending on how all that works out. So please make sure that you have all that space ready. If you need to prune your device or anything like that, it'll be a good time to think about doing that now. But otherwise, upgrade to 1.11.8 to get up to date. So here it's got some really cool news actually. So it says client updates, all the clients are now Dencun ready and also include improvements and bug fixes. So there's Lighthouse, Lodestar, Geth, Bisu, Teku, Nethermind, Nimbus, Prism, and this is a new exciting addition to the smart node stack, which is Reth. So Reth client 0.1.0 alpha.20 from Paradigm is now available in the smart node. The project is still not ready for production and should only be used on the Haleshki test network at the moment. Thanks to Pateris for his work. I guess Pateris was involved in integrating that. And then it says there's some known issues making Reth fail on some ARM devices. So those are like low power devices like the Raspberry 5 or the Rock 5B board. Now, I'm not sure where that is failing, but check it out before you update and use Reth if you're using an ARM device. And then the smart node changes here. So they've added an archive mode parameter for Bisu, and then there's fixing metrics for externally managed execution clients, and then fix remove duplicate pub keys when fetching validator info, and fix the voluntary exit signatures issue on Haleshki. Their hard-code max collateral fractal from RPIP 30, and then improve the process to download rewards files with timeouts, make rewards file version type to encapsulate version rain checks, and make errors more user-friendly. So then there's information on how to install it. You can follow the guide. And I'm going to be coming back here to Fornax in a second because that's not the end of it. So this version of Nimbus was out as well, 24.2.2. Let me see if that's the one that's in this version. Nimbus, yeah, 24.2.2. So here, there was a bug right recently, like on Haleshki for Nimbus, and it says the Nimbus has an important bug fix, including the one that was causing high CPU load during the backfill process after checkpoint sync. Also fixes the Haleshki issue related to the incomplete implementation of EIP 7044. So that is now fixed. And here you can read the notes on the Nimbus platform if you want on their GitHub. And then they said that this is a hotfix addressing issues for Dencun, Deneb, basically for Haleshki, and update as soon as possible if your node is affected. However, as always happens, when we get a new smart node stack out, there's always one piece of software that updates like seemingly 10 minutes later. And today's updated software was MEV Boost. So Flashbot's released version 1.7 of the MEV Boost, which is required to get ready for Deneb Dencun, and this is now ready as well. So, of course, as always, like we kind of got messed around with that. So people were kind of joking about it, about whether or not we should upgrade and what's going on with that. So there was a POAP to upgrade to version 1.11.8, but then we were like, wait, do we upgrade to this? Don't we upgrade to this? And it seems like, because of the MEV boost issue, there'll have to be probably a new version of the smart node stack out. But that was almost definitely going to happen anyway, because last second, client changes is still 2 weeks away. So Patches here had a quick fix if you are running MEV boost, and if you want to get ready for Dencun without waiting for the smart node stack. This is probably just an announcement to run Rocket Pool SC MEV boost container tag flashbots MEV boost 1.7 Rocket Pool service start. So that is basically a one line of code. You just copy and paste it into your smart node stack, and it will run the MEV boost software. And then just as Patches posted that, here Formax then turned into a post on the protocol saying, hello, node operators, MEV Boost has just released a new version. When I'm about to get on a plane to Denver, users can manually update through the terminal user interface or running this command after updating your smart node version. And then there's the software, the line that we just said. It said we're going to wait a bit longer to see if there are any more last minute changes before creating a new smart node release. So I guess if you get onto 1.11.8 and then also update your MEV boost by putting this line of code in there, you can find the information in the releases channel of the Rocket Pool Discord. Another thing to pay attention to, of course, is that there's a POAP as always. So here, Shifrin says upgrade your node before flying to Denver, update your smart node stack within 24 hours and post a screenshot to receive a POAP. And then from Patches as well, it has the line about MEV boost. So here people started posting their screenshots, and I guess they'll have just over 24 hours like normal to get the POAP. So I will be doing this later, and Patches was showing off updating 5 nodes at the same time, and he wanted 5 POAPs. But yeah, this is really nice that this is happening, and as always, it's great to see the POAPs out there for the community. We already talked about that. And then I remember I told you guys last week that the Dencun update hasn't actually become final yet, and there's still a couple of things that the team is looking out for, the ETH Foundation is looking out for before making it final. Well, that has happened now, so there's a mainnet announcement here saying, mainnet blobs are coming, and .small o big O, so that is, I guess, like the little meme language if you want to add that to your socials. This is 2 years after its ETH Denver inception, dozens of testing calls and devnets later, Proto Dankshard is finally going live on mainnet. Dencun will activate on the Ethereum mainnet epoch 269568, occurring on March 13th at 13:55 UTC. So that's 1 o'clock and 55 minutes European time, which is, I think I want to say just before 8 a.m. Eastern time, I think. Sorry, please check to make sure. I'm really bad at converting time zones. So then it just has information about what's going to be in the Dencun update. Of course, we've already covered all of that. It tells you that Deneb is this consensus side, and then Cancun is the execution side, and there's information about the clients and which is updated and what's ready for it, and everything's ready to go. So this is really exciting, and that was published today. And 2 weeks time, we'll be living in the world of blobs, which is pretty awesome. Okay, next I've got some information from the GMC. So as you all know, Joe has gone on paternity leave, and Joe is now taking some, spending some time with his new baby and family, and that is really wonderful to see. So here Shifrin says, in light of Joe's paternity leave, Destroyer has graciously volunteered to assume Joe's responsibilities in the development subcommittee for the next few months. The GMC appreciates Destroyer stepping up to fill this temporary vacancy. The new roster, and then it says development is Dondo, Rocknet, Destroyer, research is Ken, Epineph, and looking for owls, marketing is me, RPL Maxi, and Dr. Doofus. Now, Destroyer did run for election, and he was next in line basically in the order of votes, so he kind of got boosted up. And then when Joe is back, then we'll say goodbye to Destroyer, and Joe will resume his spot on the team. And then Long for Wisdom here says that I made a pull request to RPIP 34 with a temporary membership change. So there is some information there that you can check out and stay up to date with what's happening with the GMC. Okay, speaking of the GMC and Long for Wisdom, here I kind of covered this very quickly in yesterday's episode, but I thought I'll give it another few minutes to kind of talk about it today. So Long for Wisdom put this thread out. It's RPIP 39, bounty incentives. It says, hey folks, this is intended to be a discussion thread for RPIP 39. The RPIP in question can be found in the usual place, and you can go find it there. So the summary of the RPIP is essentially this RPIP aims to empower the GMC to provide incentive rewards if they choose to do so for 3 activities within the bounty process. These activities are proposing a bounty, providing an initial idea and convincing the GMC that it's worth pursuing, paid when the proposal is adopted by the GMC, and defining a bounty, providing a clear and actionable set of milestones, deliverables, and key information that can be used by a bounty hunter to complete the bounty, paid when the definition is adopted by the GMC, and supporting a bounty hunter, i.e. providing feedback, direction, and assistance, navigating Rocket Pool's processes and structures that a bounty hunter external to Rocket Pool may find challenging, paid when the bounty is completed. So this proposal does not set hard numbers on these incentives, leaving those in the hands of the GMC. GMC decisions related to these incentives may be challenged using the existing GMC challenge decision process. And it says a set of recommendations are included that describe some of the author's thoughts related to the lever setting. These are non-binding on the GMC and are mainly just meant as a starting point for discussion. It says Valdorf, as an RPIP editor, recommended that the GMC propose some initial values prior to the voting taking place. I don't think that's strictly necessarily due to the challenge process, but I don't object either. It says I'll follow up in a few days with a poll once there's been some opportunity to discuss. And Shifrin says, I don't feel strongly about any of the numbers I've posted below, but I did throw several structural ideas into the mix and hopefully create more optimal process. It says, first, I think it's important to categorize bounties by their amounts. A 50,000 bounty provides far greater impact to the protocol than a $1,000 bounty. Bounties can be categorized into the following: a regular bounty and a bounty value is less than $2,000, or a premium bounty, which has value of over $50,000. So he says, like, for example, there's a regular bounty for $50, a premium bounty, and then he's got like a little formula. He says, I propose dividing the dollar amount by the bounty by 100 and rounding the result to the nearest $100. For example, if a bounty is worth $50, would award $500 to the bounty submitter. So I guess he's saying 1%. And bounty worth $3,200 would award $200 to the bounty submitter. This is for bounty defining as well. So for regular bounty, it'll be $25. And then for premium bounty, it will be around 1% as well. No, a little bit more than 1%, 1.5%, I think, or 1.25%, 1.25%, something like that. 1.25%. And then for supporting bounty, that can be $50 per hour for bounty support, maximum 1 hour for regular bounties, or maximum of 5 hours for premium bounties. And this is anything support spending over 5 hours are welcome to submit retrospective application for that. And then Long for Wisdom was kind of giving feedback about that. So if you are interested in helping bounties get better, then please contribute to this discussion. And otherwise, it's going to be coming to a vote soon. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. Okay, next we had this little post from Haloooloolo, and this is something that I talked about in the episode last week, I think, and now, yesterday, I think, or last week. And now Haloooloolo's back with an actual dedicated thread to his Discord stats. So he's called it Rocket Scrape, and he says he's just going to put them all in here. So this was the top Rocket Pool contributors of all time, and I'm only going to care about my numbers, right? So top contributor in terms of amount of time spent in the Rocket Pool Discord, that is me at number 17 with 1,208 hours. So I'm around quite a lot. But when you compare that to Val, like the number 1 human after Rocket Watch, he's been in the Discord for 3,881 hours. So that's like absolutely like meteoric, his rise. I'll show you the chart next. It says top Rocket Pool contributors with no recent activity. So these are a whole bunch of people who are no longer in the community or haven't been around for at least 3 months. And some of these people are people whose names I know. Some of the people are names I don't know. Some of these people have spent a whole lot of time in the Discord, and now they're no longer around. VGR, for example, was actually one of the people who made one of the first Rocket Pool dashboards. It was kind of like Rocket Scan before Rocket Scan, and it was a little bit more limited in information, but it was there, and it was really nice. I remember using that. It had like a really cool like sci-fi theme going on, but and a video game sci-fi theme kind of thing going on. But that obviously he's no longer around. And from what I know, he just kind of like left one day basically, and his dashboard just kind of like deprecated. But that was a shame. And then here we have top trading contributors of all time, and I am number 20 on this list with 872 hours. So that's a whole lot of time in trading. Oh, so I guess I spent like 400 hours in other threads, not just trading. So that's actually pretty well, just over 330 something hours on other threads, not just trading. But this is like everyone that basically in the Discord is right here, right? Like all the main characters of the Rocket Pool community. Then this was a nice little chart, nice little data scrape that he did. So these are people who respond with the laughing emoji on their own posts, and it's like called self-kek. So Zemo calling him out, and then Dr. Really Dumb, he's number 2, and then like there's a whole bunch of other people. Butter is number 6. I'm surprised Butter's not higher because he's notorious for the old self-kek. So that's definitely interesting. And then with the most reactions given, this one's actually really interesting because we have Genux with 46,834, and he's always one to like the stuff that I'm posting out there, which is really cool. But then I'm actually number 5 with 38,530. So I think I'm really generous with the old like button, like with the kek or whatever it is, or this mostly, or upwards arrow. I point that a lot as well. So those are some of my faves. Or the man shrugging. That's I think my number 1 fave, or the heart. And then the most received, I was actually quite impressed by this because I'm number 13 here with 28,000 reactions received. But Joe is like far and away number 1 human. Like it's just not even funny just how far ahead he is. So he has 141,659 received. And the next human after that is Langas with 52,000, and Dave with 51,000. And then Marceau, actually like the highest non-team member here with 43,666, which is actually quite surprising to me. But a whole lot of people are like not too far behind. So that was actually really, really cool to see as well. And then what do we have here? Yeah, this is the people who spent the most amount of time in support. So Patch is number 1 by almost double of what Object is. And then like Haloooloolo has definitely like climbed up those rankings really fast. So he's got 194 hours in there. But that's only a matter of months basically compared to other people. So this is these are some really nice little stats that he's got. So then this one here is like top Rocket Pool contributors by message count. So this is all time messages, and this is me here, number 18 with 36,698. So I actually spend a whole lot of time in the Discord. I'm actually quite surprised by just how much, like how far up the rankings I am. But a whole bunch of people are about to break that 100,000 post mark, and yeah, I think I'm actually posting more frequently than now some of the people who are ahead of me. So potentially, like if we did this in a year's time, I might climb up the rankings a little bit. But here, Joe basically again is quite far ahead, about 20,000 ahead of Invis, and Invis is then a little bit ahead of Patches, but Patches is catching quite quick. It's just there's 1,000 posts between them, so that's really cool to see. But yeah, this was really, really cool stuff that Haloooloolo put out. Then he put out some charts as well that you can have a look at to kind of like see how it all looks over time. And this was trading contributors by message count as well. So here I'm number 18 also, and LFO actually is like way ahead of everyone in just trading with 126,000 messages in there, and that's with him taking some time away from the Discord as well. He was gone for a few months. But yeah, it's really, really nice stuff here. So if you want to kind of dig into these numbers, also maybe you can ask Haloooloolo to show you some other like pull out some other information from there. I think that would be really cool. And finally, I'm going to finish with this new POAP that was sent out today. And this was the Rocket Pool RPL Stake Party POAP. And the little description says morale was notably subdued in the Rocket Pool Discord as the RPL ratio plummeted to a mere 0.00925. However, the optimism started to emerge as Rocket Pool holders gained confidence in the forthcoming developments, particularly bolstered by Valdor's recently unveiled tokenomics vision. Confident node operators rallied together to underscore their faith in the protocol. This POAP was bestowed upon the Rocket Pool node operators who actively engaged in the call to action and staked RPL between February 22nd and February 27th. So that is 5 days. And I think there's a buy party kind of happening simultaneously. So there'll be a bunch of people who are getting POAPs if they're buying RPL now as well. But this is actually a really nice POAP. I covered it on the show yesterday or the day before last week. So you guys have seen it, but now that POAP has gone out. So far 19 people have claimed it. But I think there was like 40 or 50 people who actually ended up staking. So that was a really great job by Schifrin. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. Thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I think I actually am going to record. I'm going to try, let's just say, to record over the next couple of days while I'm in Denver. The episodes might be coming out really late Eastern time, like really early morning European time, because I'll probably record them last thing at night if I do it. So maybe look out for that over the next couple of days. You might get like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, which will be pretty nice. But other than that, thank you everyone, and I will see you from Denver. Bye.